Let's see. Hey, and we are live. Welcome to episode 11 of the Zenspath podcast. I say 11, even though the last show said 9 because, well, I can't count apparently. I had to go back and fix it. We had 2 episode 9s in a row.
Nice. Hey, if episode 9 was that good, why not do it again?
Yeah, well, now we're doing episode 11, and I went back and fixed the name of the other one. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me this week is my good friend, Caleb.
Hello, Internet.
Yay. The intranets. All right, so this week's show, we're going to be talking about the latest Nintendo Direct that came out on the 13th of September, 2017, as well as there was a Metroid game released.
Oh yeah, that's just
it's not important.
Yeah, really have to...
I mean, I've been enjoying the living crap out of it. Caleb, how about you? Yeah, just thanks to Hurricane Irma, Caleb doesn't have his copy yet.
And I'm sad.
I got lucky to get mine.
He went to scour the entire city.
And I found 2, which me and Brent took. I'm sorry. All right, so we'll go and hop right in. The way they're doing the Nintendo Directs now, I actually kind of like. They're breaking them up by system, and it's just very much, they just kind of just continuously fire off new things. They started off with the Nintendo 3DS. I guess they were like, all right, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing coming out on that people want to play right now. So...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Metroid was probably the last, we'll say, big one. I don't know how well it sold yet.
I don't see that being the last big one. There's a lot more coming for 3DS.
Oh, well,
I was surprised by how much. So they started off with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming November 17th, which, of course, has new Pokemon, new Ultra Beasts, the new environments to explore. I know, Caleb, you're saying you're getting kind of burned out on Pokemon, I think?
Yeah, I mean, I liked Sun and Moon. You know, it was very cool. It's a very interesting take. I just don't see... There's nothing that's really kind of caught my attention. Like, nothing kind of pulling at me to get, you know, Sun, Ultra Moon. Like, it's not really a sequel. So, you know, what you can't really get any story out of it. You know, what story there is in Pokemon. I'm not saying there's no story. I'm just saying it's a little. And then they only have like the Dusk form for Lycanroc. I'm like, well, do I want to get a whole new game just for one new Pokemon? I mean,
well, there's more than just one new Pokemon. There's a couple different new Ultra Beasts. I think they showed like 3 or 4 off. They had a couple little bonuses with it if you purchase either title, as you said. You know, you play it by January 10th of 2018. You get the Lycanroc in its Dusk form, which you download a special Rockruff Pokemon that will evolve into this form. And that'll be available from November 17th when the game launches to January 10th of next year. And then for some weird reason, if you get the game digitally, you get 12 Quick Balls.
That
like,
is
really what?
Like, if you get to a certain point in the game, that's just chump change anyways.
Yeah, that's like, oh, good job. Here's pennies. Like, we don't need these. Crap.
The only thing that I was personally like, whoa, you know, during the Direct was like, hey, you can get Celebi if you buy Pokemon Gold or Pokemon Silver in the eShop. And I was like, hey.
Which that brings up our next one.
Hey.
You're jumping ahead on me, Caleb.
Look, I'm just trying to keep the flow going, okay?
Yeah. But as they announced for the Nintendo 3DS, and that's all 3DSs, not the new, but all of the 3DSs, Virtual Console, we're getting Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver. They'll be available for download September 22nd. I debated if I'm going to get those or not, because I'm still enjoying Sun and Moon when I do go back and play it, and I still have Yellow to finish. But as you said before, if you download either of these titles and you get Celebi for Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon. So even if you don't get the new games, and you get the Virtual Console, you're going to get Celebi in your old title. So,
which I thought was nice that they're not just limiting it to like one certain game. I was like, so that was a nice move on their part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be in there, but you know, but along with your new game, if you need a new system, they also went and announced the special Pokeball Edition new Nintendo 2DS XL. That's coming out November 3rd, 2 weeks before the game releases. Not gonna lie, I was like, well, I want to get one eventually for my collection. This one looks nice. Though it's a rectangle Pokeball.
Yeah, I don't know how practical that would be.
Well, they couldn't really make it round. That would be just the weirdest.
That'd be very interesting, though.
Giant clamshell. My screen's all warped.
No, you have to open it and then you have to fold the screens out.
No, not doing that. Oh Lord. All right, so that was pretty much what they had for Pokemon. Thankfully, they didn't stick with it too long. They just kind of went on from there. Now, the next game they wanted to cover for the new the 3DSs was the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions.
Now, is that the original?
Yes, this is a remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance. That was released way back in like what 2004, 2005, something like that. This new version comes out October 6th, and it's got amiibo support built in for pretty much any of the amiibos. You can use them to get stamps in your stamp book, which will help you unlock new weapons and items. But there's also 2 specific amiibos coming for it, which is the Goomba and Koopa Troopa, which, yes, I will end up getting them, and yes, they will be on display in my living room as usual. But those give you special entire stamp books that you can fill in to get different weapons as well. So, I mean, it's an interesting use, but they're not pushing it for every little thing. The game itself looks really nice. They went back and redrew all the sprites, updated everything for it, new sound effects, voice, all that. And then the plus Bowser's Minions is an entire new story mode from Bowser's Minions' perspective, trying to get Bowser back because he was kidnapped himself. So it's the whole back and forth from that side. Looks really funny.
Yeah, I think I might end up getting it. I never really played the original. And not to mention there's a whole, basically probably other game inside of it with Bowser's Minions. The only Superstar Saga I've ever played was the one with the aliens. I can't remember which one. I think it was Partners in Time. I think that's what it was.
I think so. That was one of the ones for DS because you would have the 2 younger Mario brothers on one screen, the 2 older on the other, and then the 4 face buttons. 2 would control one set, 2 the other. And you have to work together in tandem. It was tricky but fun. We're getting this for sure because this is one of the few series my wife loves. She plays every one of them as best she can, pretty much all the way through. I think she's still messing around Bowser's Inside Story because she finds that one of her favorites. But yeah, I'm buying this for her. So I'll play it eventually. Moving on to the next game they announced was Kirby Battle Royale. They hinted at this at an earlier Nintendo Direct, but they finally gave it a name. But this is going to include a battle mode, story mode, online battle mode, training mode, and a collection area. Pretty much it's like a 4-player battle game where you can do, a lot of these little fights with Kirby and his different abilities, as well as a story mode you can play through for it as well. That comes out January 19th, 2018. And as anyone that knows me or my kids knows that we will be getting Kirby because Jennifer is obsessed with Kirby. Oh, God. She was yelling when she heard that on the Direct. As soon as the music starts, if I played it right now, or I say Kirby too loud, she'll come out here even though I'm doing the podcast. She's like, what? As a side note, there's a poll being held for Kirby's 25th anniversary to determine what the favorite copy ability is. They have the kirby.nintendo.com/poll to make your choice heard, as they put it.
It's going to be UFO. Everybody loves UFO.
If it's not UFO, then you have greatly offended me. Though I'm kind of torn because there is an ability in Kirby's Triple Deluxe. You have to use the Smash Brothers amiibo for it, but it's actually Smash Brothers Kirby as an ability.
Oh, yeah, Smash Kirby? No, that was also in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror or something like that. It was on one of the Game Boy Advance.
Really? I thought this was the first time they did that. We had because this had the actual, like, even the smash attacks. Like, it was literally Kirby from Smash.
Yeah. No. That's been in I'd have to go look. It was definitely an Amazing Mirror. I'm pretty sure that's where it was the first time.
Yeah,
well, you thought it was the no.
Well, no, they've
Amazing Mirror.
They've had fighters before, but I didn't know about Smash.
Because you could fight Master Hand as a mini boss, and if you sucked him up after you beat him as a mini boss, you can get the Smash ability. And he has all his Smash moves and everything. It's pretty cool.
I'm looking it up. Shush.
You go look on the wiki. It's either
am.
Amazing Mirror or like Return to Dreamland or something like that.
We'll have to look it up later. Look for that on Twitter as I find out I'm wrong. Dang. All right. Next up is Yokai Watch 2, Psychic Specters. I haven't really played any of these games.
The first one, it was actually very, I was like, oh, it's just a Pokemon ripoff. Like, it's got a different kind of battle style.
Digimon is a Pokemon ripoff. This is something else.
Yeah. This it was good. It was pretty good. It kept me entertained. I played it all the way through. So that's a good sign. I didn't really get the sequel, but Psychic Specters maybe, because it's kind of like both of them kind of put together.
Well, this is basically the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon versions for their game.
Pretty much.
This is their extra.
But they're just doing it in like it's basically, you had Sapphire, Ruby, and then it's basically Emerald. It's basically what it is. But if you have data from the previous games, you can transfer all your data over to the new one, and you can leave off where you, which I thought was kind of cool. You can kind of leave, take where you left off. I can't speak. You know what I mean? It'll just pick up your data or whatever. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Just on a random affront, I went to look at the YouTube page to see if we had anyone watching or commenting, and it says we're playing Minecraft.
Cool.
I guess because
welcome to the Minecraft podcast where
I guess because I put Minecraft in the notes for a story we're going to cover in a little bit, but
yeah,
that's funny. All right, well, anyways, so the Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters, enhanced version of the second game, as we said before. If you have the original, and this is kind of something interesting, I guess Nintendo could have done with Sun and Moon, but you can get the content with the original game as what's called an Oni Evolution DLC. So they can just download the update, pay that little difference, and get it. Would Sun and Moon be so bad for you if that was the case? Like you could just download an update or download DLC and get that content on your existing game?
I would probably get it if they did something like that. I know there's the Pokemon Bank and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it had something like this, or if it's like I could kind of leave off and get the new game. Like they did for Psychic Specters, I would probably get it. But as of right now, I just don't see the reason to get a whole nother version other than, maybe having, a couple Pokemon that they'll have in it that you can't really transfer over to the new games. I'm like, well, now they're just stuck in this one version. Like, I'm still mad because of my Pichus are still stuck in my Soul Silver version, and I can't transfer them with me. That makes me upset. I want my Notch Deer Pichu. Why?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I like the idea that they're doing it, but I personally prefer having physical copies of the game, so I'm glad that's an option. But for those that just want it as a download, I'd like to see Nintendo offer that as an option. Hey, you can get the physical copy for those getting it new or just want to expand and have that. Or if you've already got the game, instead of buying all this new stuff for your kid, we'll have a little bit cheaper option for some parents. Like me, if I had to do it, I have to buy at least 2 more copies, maybe 3, and then just get digital for 2 of those and physical for 1, and that would solve the problem. It's in the collection, but all the kids have it, and I don't have multiple cartridges floating around.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up is actually a 3DS game that it's from a series I love, but I didn't care about this one at all because it was on mobile only, and I was like, no. But it's coming to 3DS now, which is Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy. Which I just realized I misspelled conspiracy on the article. I should fix it. I know.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, it's conspiracy. Conspircy. Actually, that might be right. It just looks weird. Anyways, so this game you play as Layton's daughter, Catriel Layton, and solve puzzles and mysteries. It's very much like a Professor Layton game. It's just a new protagonist as you're playing as Layton's daughter. For some reason, because this was originally a mobile game, now it's on 3DS. Has exclusive clothes from the other versions, which they've only mentioned like one dress. And I'm like, I don't care what they look like. I just want to solve puzzles. But
So
I'm gonna get it
while also being very fashionable.
I'm okay with it. I mean, it's Layton's daughter, so I mean, it's cool that they've moved it over, and there's a female protagonist in the way they're doing it, and they're not just rewriting it. It's his daughter, which is awesome. So this releases October 6th for 3DS, which, let's be honest, I've gotten every other Layton game. I will get this one. Now for the story that led to our YouTube page thinking we're now streaming Minecraft.
Yes.
And one of the most confusing and honestly kind of pointless to me is Minecraft new Nintendo 3DS edition was announced and launched on the 13th.
Yeah.
What the crap? Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, it has single player only for right now, with multiplayer coming up in a future update, which, okay. It has survival and creative modes. Hopefully it would have. Otherwise, it's not really Minecraft. Includes 5 skin packs and 2 texture packs. Crafting inventory, everything, all that's there. It's on the bottom screen.
I do like that.
Button or touch controls. I don't know why you'd use touch controls.
Basically, like if people are used to playing it on mobile, they have the option to use those touch controls.
Which, yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's, a portable title, kind of like the phone, but you probably have more control than what you would have with the phone.
Yeah. I've talked to a few people, specifically a friend of mine on Facebook, Jason DeApril, that he reviews a lot of this stuff for different magazines and things like that. So he got Minecraft when it came out and was playing it, and he was saying that the frame rate's a little chuggy. It's not a bad version of Minecraft. It's Minecraft. But it's a little limited on some of that. They did officially come out and announce, though, that it will not be getting the Play Together update. So it won't be able to join in along with Xbox One, PC, the Switch, things like that.
Well,
or mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what technically would be holding it back, but I guess that could kind of make
technology,
sense.
Maybe. I mean, I'm glad to see at least the new Nintendo 3DS is finally getting more reasons to own one. You can't play this at all on a normal 3DS. It will not run. But even with that extra oomph on the new Nintendo 3DS, it's still kind of a limited version. It looked pretty comparable. I mean, at least for what it could do. But
the one thing that was confusing to me was that your level bar was like all the way top across the screen. Like, wow, that's not distracting at all. If you saw that, your little level bar is like all the way across the top.
It's one of those I'm going to look at it and be like, I can't unsee this now. Oh, crap, I can't. You're right. Why?
It's like, that's so distracting. Why? Oh. Who thought it was a good idea?
Well, I mean, the bottom is full, like the way they're doing it. Because the way the layout is, you've got your hearts, your hunger, your obviously all the way across the screen is, top screen is your level. And then your armor is down here at the bottom. You've got the normal first-person perspective. On the bottom screen, you've got your map. Looks like if things are interactive, they pop up as buttons like a chest or a door. And then on the top of the bottom screen is all of your inventory that you're using. So you can quickly press the screen to jump between items. It seems like kind of a cool idea, and I thought about getting it for my daughter. She could play on one of the boys' old Nintendo 3DSs since John just got his
one of the old new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, we already have one of those because we replaced it with a Metroid. But it's $30 digitally.
That is a bit like, even on PC, that's only $20. Why would you?
I was okay. I paid $30 for the Switch version, I think. And I think I paid $30 for the Wii U version even. But those are full console experiences. I could play online. I could play with other people and make these expansive worlds and do multiplayer on one system. This is one console, $30. That's it. How much the physical copy is going to be? That comes out later. That could be $40 for all we know.
That would be the most expensive version of Minecraft.
Yeah, I want to get it eventually because it's almost like one of those sick curiosities. I just want to see how it plays. But I'll wait and get a cartridge later, probably pre-owned, instead of trying to fight with a digital version of a game I'm just kind of not interested in playing. If I want to play Minecraft on the go, I have a Switch now. That is both console and portable, so I'm good.
Which I'm really surprised Nintendo is still kind of. I mean, it makes sense from a business perspective to be still supporting 3DS because like so many people have a 3DS.
Let's get this clear. We're confused by it. They're going to make bank on this. You know, people are going to buy this left and right when their kids get these new 3DSs or 2DSs, XLs. They're going to be like, oh, Minecraft's on here. I want to get that. And they're just going to get it. They're not even going to ask. They're just going to play it. And that's the bit that. You know it to be true.
I'm still surprised Minecraft is going. Just
I enjoy Minecraft. 3DS is just weird. I don't know. Whatever. All right. So next up, and I'm kind of disappointed because we still haven't even finished the last Mario Party, but Mario Party, the top 100 coming from Nintendo 3DS, November 10th. This one's kind of cool. They've gone through every one of the previous Mario Parties and curated the top 100 mini games that they've liked in there and put them all into one game.
Is it just the mini games, or is it like a board game like the other Mario Parties?
I think it's a board game, but all the mini games are curated from the top 100. It's ports download play for up to 4 players. No word if that's just the full game, like you can just do download play and you're good, or if you have to do like the last game did, where it had limited download play, but for a full game experience, everybody had to download a free software piece that let them run the game as well, as long as one of you had a cartridge, which worked out really well. It's just kind of a pain to download everyone's stuff. But we'll see. It comes out November 10th. I love Mario Party, but man, I want a Mario Party on the Switch. I want to have it, where you can use the Joy-Cons and set it up like a literal tiny board. I guess it would be a really tiny board game, but you could, do something with that or play it. I don't know. All right, so up next, something launched. You want to talk about that?
Yes, Metroid: Samus Return launched on September 15th, except for those who apparently live in this area who can't get their hands on it, except for Jeremy, who could.
And Brent. Brent found it too.
And Brent.
See, here we
have to wait till tomorrow.
Maybe longer. I hope tomorrow. Tomorrow we should be pushing it. The issue is the GameStops in the area because of Hurricane Irma. We're down in Florida, as some of you may not know. And there were issues with shipping. And some of the stuff came in, the amiibos, the systems, and the regular editions of the game.
The amiibos. That's about it. Thank you, Jeremy, for your contribution.
I bought those for Caleb as a gift for as much as he helps me with the podcast and the website. So you are quite welcome, my friend. But me and Brent, or Insomniac, as you guys may know him on the show, hunted down 2 copies of the collector's edition at a Target here in town. They were the only ones to have it. We bought the last of them. Sorry, Caleb. But I've been playing it since Friday, and holy crap, this game is amazing. It is everything Metroid I have wanted for years. I know this is just rubbing salt in the wound, Caleb. Sorry. Yeah. So as you saw, we both have the amiibos. I haven't opened mine yet. I'm not going to use them until I finish the game at least once.
Same.
You have no choice right now.
Well, true.
But they did release a new Nintendo 3DS version of the system itself.
For me tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really nice looking. I guess I left mine. Oh, there it is. It's in my Zelda case because I've been playing it. It's really nice. It's got a good shiny finish to it. Yeah, you can't take my stuff, Kevin. But as you can see, the game looks really nice. I can't tell which hand's which. Very smooth gameplay. And I like the fact you can aim. It's worth getting. Like, holy crap, it's amazingly good.
I really am wondering how it's sold so far.
I've seen it sold out in a lot of places. I know at least the collector's editions are gone.
Well, maybe that's because they didn't offer that many copies.
Maybe. If you got the collector's edition, the other thing is the case is reversible. So this is actually what my case looks like after you turn it around. It's made to look like the original Metroid 2 Return of Samus, which this is a spiritual successor or remake of.
It's a remake, yeah.
reimagining almost. Fun little fact though, if you look at the barcode, I know it's kind of blurry on here.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's the title screenshot from Metroid 2. At the bottom of the barcode, the numbers are 00SR38800. Which is a fun little touch because you're on planet SR388. It also comes with the Metroid soundtrack, or Samus Returns Archives Sound Selection.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes, very. I do like the fact the CD is the Screw Attack logo. Always a nice thing because it'll be spinning. Makes me want to get one of those old CD players with a clear top so I can just watch it spin.
Right.
But this has music from every Metroid game except for Zero Mission, which is kind of a weird omission. But Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Metroid Samus Returns, Metroid Other M, Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Prime, Prime 2, Prime 3. Even the Metroid Prime trilogy has its own unique piece of music in here. No Zero Mission. What the crap? No Federation Force either, but let's not push that one. But I haven't finished the game. I can't really write up a review of it yet. But from what I have played so far and what I've enjoyed, and my youngest son has the game, and I've got like 30-something Metroid left. I'm only a few Metroid in. He has 2 left already. 2 out of 40. He already has 2 Metroids left. I haven't talked to him since we went to eat lunch earlier. He's probably already beat the game for all I know. Oh, to be young and play games without any responsibilities.
Yep. I don't want to spoil anything. I do know something just because I was like, I'm curious. There's a new trick. Do you know about the new trick?
Not yet. I've been using some of the old tricks to get around. Yeah, let me finish the game first and you tell me. But I have been using a lot of the old tricks like bomb jumping and stuff like that to get myself into different areas I'm not really supposed to be in yet, which has been fun.
Well, but that's a beauty. That's the beauty of Metroid.
Yeah.
You can
well, I was getting into spots that you weren't supposed to get into. You get the spider ball, and I'm like, I'm already in here.
Yeah. What was it in Metroid Fusion? You could. There was a little. There's a little exploit you could do to get past Area 5 or whatever. It was like the underwater area, and if you kind of got to the next area where you weren't supposed to be, the devs found out that they could do that you could do this, and they just kind of left it in there. So anybody who got there, they had the computer would give them a special message from the developers.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And it's ridiculous. I have to do a bunch of shine sparks to get to that point, which I was like, wow. So there's another little thing about the amiibos that are kind of funny. Like, for one, they're absolutely gorgeous. And yes, Metroid is squishy. And apparently IGN is they figured out you can use this part as a shot glass. So they're taking shots out of a Metroid. That's just, for all you of age people, have fun. But on the back, what's really good is there's actually a mistype. It says use with Metroid Return of Samus, which is the Game Boy game. This is supposed to be Samus Returns, which is the new one. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but it's great.
Yeah, there's an update if you go back and you.
Yeah, if you if you look at it, you can unlock Fusion mode. This is the suit you wear. It's based off the Fusion suit from Metroid Fusion. I don't know exactly what it does.
Well, it's just you basically play in hard mode. But with the Fusion suit.
It's like a harder mode. Of course, it unlocks original Metroid 2 Return of Samus artwork. The Samus amiibo will unlock an Ion Reserve tank. If you use the, I think, Zero Suit Samus, it gives you an extra energy tank. The Metroid shows you the closest Metroid in your proximity. And then the Samus Armored Smash Brothers one, I think, gives you missiles.
I think so.
I think it refills your missiles at any time or something. I haven't tried it yet. I'm trying to avoid using the amiibos until at least I finish the one playthrough. So, I don't know. Caleb, I can't wait till you can play this, though. It's so damn good.
I can't wait either. I want tomorrow to be here.
If it doesn't come in and you get your 3DS, are you just going to pick up a normal copy?
No, I want a soundtrack.
I'll rip you a copy. I know that's not good enough.
It's not.
All right, so it's nuts though. We have a Metroid game to talk about, Caleb. But just wow, How long has it been without us complaining? I mean, just
12 years. I don't know. Long time.
I don't know. Now we just have the long, arduous wait for Metroid Prime 4.
Which, by the way, I went and watched that, rewatched the trailer, and I still cried. It still makes me cry.
Literally just seconds. Going back to that article, can video games make you cry? Yes.
Yeah.
Trailer did.
Metroid Prime 4 trailer did. They didn't even have to put any effort in. I'm just like,
and they didn't. It looked like they didn't put any effort in.
Right.
All right, so let's finish up the 3DS stuff so we can get to the Nintendo Switch, which is the good parts.
Yeah.
Atlas is, you're talking about, are there going to be more games coming out for 3DS? Atlas has four full RPGs coming out. We're going to have the Alliance Alive coming out early 2018. Etrian Odyssey 5, which a demo is available now with no release date given. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux comes out in early 2018. And Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology comes out in early 2018, which they also showed a collector's edition for. I think that was originally a DS game, so they'll kind of come out from there. Let's see. Next up is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. This goes back to the Apollo Justice series, but also beginnings of Phoenix Wright, I believe, in the Ace Attorney series, if I understood them correctly. I've enjoyed those games for a while. And the Ace Attorney games are usually kind of funny. It's hilarious to see how they take something that is so clearly Japanese and try and make it American.
Right.
It's become a running joke with them. Fire Emblem Warriors are shown up for 3DS. It's an impressive looking version of the game, but the Switch one is what we're going to talk about in a little bit that I've already pre-ordered. And lastly, for the Nintendo 3DS, they have announced the new orange and white new Nintendo 2DS XL coming October 6th. Not gonna lie, it's kind of nice, and also makes me want to have one of those like creamsicle pops.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, somebody must be hungry that day.
I want one now. I'm gonna get one after the show because I'm an adult and I can do those stupid things with my monies. All right, let's move over to the Nintendo Switch. This is what most people are really concerned about. And they had a lot to show. Like, wow.
There's a bunch.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They gave a release date. Caleb, what is it?
Electric Boogaloo. Did you say what is it?
Yes.
What's that release date? RPG that will probably be hundreds of hours long.
What's the release date?
Oh, the release date is December 1st, 2017. So
that's right.
They're right on track with the holiday season thing that they were shooting for.
Yeah, everyone kept saying, "Oh, it's not going to make it this year. It's going to be delayed. It's going to be, I see it as a 2019 game even." They're like, no, screw you. 2017.
2019 game. Wow.
It's going to, yeah, some people thought that.
No, what we saw was pretty good back like even at E3 or whatever. They were showing off a bunch. So I was like, no, this one's pretty almost done. I would say it's almost done. So they showed off, the combat system a little bit more for those who didn't watch the E3 presentation. They showed off new areas and Titans, which the Titans in this one are alive, and that didn't really click with me until this presentation. I was like, oh, they're walking and they're alive. Okay.
Well, apparently they can also change size because you see the main protagonist running around with this little white furry creature that is the same Titan as the big one he's running on. The Titan itself, it's big enough for one guy to live on, but it's way smaller than the other ones. Like the other ones have entire civilizations living on them. That's like if North America could go for a stroll. Yeah. And so this little one's like an island of Hawaii, just like, I'm walking.
Yeah, it's like, there's really only room for Rex to live on, and Rex kind of discovers what we can get from the story. Rex kind of finds Blade waifu. What's her name? What's her name? What's
I don't remember her name, but just Blade waifu.
No, it's like Pyrrha.
That's like her name now. So.
Pyra. Oh, Blade waifu. Okay.
Yeah, if I can name her, that's gonna be. It's just Blade waifu.
Blade waifu.
I'm gonna look that up on Google. I don't know what I would come up with.
Don't look for it. Don't do it. I think it is Pyrrha. or Pyra or something like that.
I think you're right. Let me look.
But they showed off
Tech
some more of the combat system, and they showed off the different driver arts and blade arts and things like that, and each character.
It's an interesting system because you're going to have two different types of characters while you're playing, which the combat still reminds me a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X, as well as Xenoblade Chronicles, or the original one.
Yeah.
Which is good. They're keeping that. I
still haven't beat either of them because they're hundreds of hours long, and I don't have that much time in the day. I do need to go back and beat both of them, though. I'm just grinding on Xenoblade Chronicles X right now. It's just so much grind. So a special edition will be available. It has a sound selection CD metal case and a 220-page hardbound art book.
Yes.
Which that's a lot of pages.
The collector's edition. I've already pre-ordered the collector's edition for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because Jeremy was really wanting to get it.
And they have
but the new
Xenoblade.
Well, the new combat.
Sorry. I was saying they have a Pro controller coming out as well, which I will be getting because it looks awesome.
I've already got that pre-ordered, which if you want to get it pre-ordered now because it's limited.
Oh, goody.
It's not just going to be out there. You need to get it. The combat system I was talking about earlier is different because now you have pilots, which are your main characters or frontline characters, and then the blades, which are the other characters that you use as the weapons. They're basically living artificial life forms of these different weapons. And for a while, they've only shown the one main character and the one weapon, one blade. Now we know there are multiple main characters and multiple blades that can be used that can be swapped out in real time between different characters for different attacks. And they have what they call driver art or blade art systems, which are enhanced attacks based on either one of those characters that you can build up as you go.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the blades and the weapons and things you find, if like they're kind of set, or if it's gonna be like Pokemon where it's like, hey, you found this one. I mean, there's gonna be the main ones you get. Like they showed off, I think, one other one that kind of looks unique. The other ones kind of look, about the same. I mean, they'll have like different body shapes and things like that. But then there's like ones like Pyra who are special and they look different. So I'm wondering
they had Kaibaku, Kisarigi, Dromarch, which looks like a giant cat, Popeye Alpha, and Rock. I'm not sure exactly some of the blades listed. And the drivers, they had Rex, Nia, and Tora are some of the characters for that.
And they showed off a lot of different characters and all the different continents, things like that. So that was
which makes for it's gonna be a pretty good sized world, but I mean, this is all on a cartridge. It's just mind blowing. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to move in real quick into the Splatoon 2 updates that they announced. Kelp Dome map is returning, which actually by this time is already out because it came out last Friday.
Cool.
This is from Splatoon 1. It was a map I actually really enjoyed, but now they've added some more grates and some other changes to it, so there's more verticality to the fights. There's a new map coming, which I don't know the date, but it's called Snapper Canal. This one I really like because you've got your normal map, but it has a river running through the middle of it. So you have to find ways to sneak into the other side by jumping the river. And they're showing a lot of people kind of taking choke points where you can jump, fighting over it. So you know where they have to go for most of the part. And then they have a new weapon called the Tent Umbrella. It's ridiculous, massive camping tent style umbrella, which, I mean, Caleb, you use that stupid umbrella all the
time. It's great.
You hide behind it. Now, this is like you could hide multiple people. So you can actually have somebody using this to push forward with like two teammates hiding behind it to go along with them. So, I mean, that's impressive. So
it's really fun. Just kind of shoot the umbrella, and usually players will think, "Oh, he must be right behind it," but I'm not. So I just kind of move up a little bit, and they start shooting behind the umbrella, and I'm just like, "Bam!"
That explains a lot. We're going to kind of break out of the story just a little bit to cover something else related to this that came out. The Nintendo online app finally got an update.
Oh, your favorite thing, yes.
Yeah, well, you can now go into other apps. You can put your phone to sleep, all that fun stuff that most normal apps should have well been able to do since day one on your phones now. So if you're using the Nintendo voice chat or whatever, you're able to finally do these things. Now, it's still useless as hell because you still can't use it in most of the modes for Splatoon unless you're in a special mode with just your friends or the tournament mode. So, yeah, still using Discord, which we'll have more on that later. We actually have a Zenspath Discord now, so we might be able to start having chat with people and play games.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, me and you tested it, Caleb. And we actually could talk to each other, which somehow meant they never put us on the same team.
Yeah, I still don't like that. It's like, why would you want to play against your friend? You know, if you're playing together.
I mean, I had fun shooting you, and you spotted the living crap out of me multiple times, like a little punk. I died a lot. I got you with the roller.
He got rained on a lot. I'll just say.
I hate the rain. So it was funny when I grabbed the wrong roller, the carbon one, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great!" And I hit a guy, and I bounce off, and I'm going, "Uh-oh."
Whoops.
All right, so let's move on to our next game that was shown off. This was Fire Emblem Warriors for the Nintendo Switch, launching October 20th. New character was announced, which was Lyn from Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance, which was the first Fire Emblem released normally in North America. They showed some more about the Chrom and Tiki amiibos, which are going to be released the same day. They showed off a collector's edition for Fire Emblem Warriors Switch, which comes with like a steel case and some other stuff. I don't know exactly what it is.
It comes with a lot of stuff from when they showed it off at E3. I was like, that's a lot. Like, I think it's $100 maybe.
80. Should know 80. If I'd already paid for it. Mind you, I get these because Xenoblade Chronicles series and Fire Emblem are my oldest son's some of his favorite games. So I was like, all right, we'll get them. That way we'll have them to look. He can mess around with and stuff. But good Lord, he needs to pay me back. No, it's not popping up. Where is it?
I'm excited for Fire Emblem Warriors. I'm ready. I will definitely be playing it. If it's in the same style as Hyrule Warriors, I'll probably love it.
Yeah,
I think there are a few things that I would change as soon as possible, though, in the options menu when I get it. So.
Well, they did point out that apparently the weapons triangle is still going to be in effect now. So while you're running around in this, Masu, whatever you pronounce it, style game,
yeah,
you're going to have the triangle, which I'm trying to remember which one it is. What the order of that is, like which one goes to what.
Swords beat axes, axes beat spears, and spears beat swords, or something like that.
Right.
It's close. I don't know if that's exactly. I'm probably having the rage in the comments. Let me go look.
Well, let me ask. Hey, Jeremy.
Yes.
So the Fire Emblem triangle of weapons, it's sword. Yeah, you were right, Caleb. So, all right. So I pulled up for the collector's edition for Fire Emblem Warriors. You get which looks like a history, like a art card that comes with a history of the series and shows you where the characters came from, the different games, and how they're connected. You get some really nice postcard style art pieces of different characters. Looks like a 3 CD soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. And a copy of the game for the Nintendo Switch. There's going to be a lot of Fire Emblem music in my house, and it's going to drive me mad.
If I haven't heard all the music, but if the music is close to what they did in Hyrule Warriors, I'll probably love it. Because Hyrule Warriors did like a rock kind of thing. I was like, that's so, like, it matches so well. It's so good. I
think this is actual Fire Emblem music. But the cool thing is they've also mixed in strategy from a Fire Emblem series into it. So you have an overview of the entire map and all your characters. You strategize who goes where, and then you actually go and play out the fights as you did it. So it's a nice kind of hybridization of it. So, all right. Like I said, that comes out October 20th, which we'll take a look at, whenever that comes out. Which these games for the Switch, we're going to start bringing back our Twitch streams and trying to get together with some people to do some multiplayer. We might try and do some more Splatoon that way as well. So I guarantee Fire Emblem Warriors will be one of the games. But next up on the list is a game I actually just fell in love with since the launch of the Switch. Snipperclips Plus, Cut It Out Together. Retail release is going to be on November 10th, which that will contain all of the original game as well as all the new content as one unified thing. So if you were hesitant to get it before, now you can get all of it expanded. I think it's about $30. Like I said, more than 30 new stages plus original. There's a new mode included where you can play the original stages, but you are assigned random body shapes for the original games. So as you start, you could be some weird, obscure shape, and you have to use that to cut out the other person to figure out the puzzles. So that's going to be kind of weird. It's going to be available as DLC for owners of the original as well. So if you already have it digitally, you want to keep it digital. I don't know the exact amount, but you can just buy that extra content and already have it on your Switch ready to go.
Which is the same thing what Yokai Watch is basically doing, which is pretty nice.
Which, once again, I think I'm going to get a cartridge version because I'd like to have a physical copy. But I know other friends of mine are like, oh, cool, I'll just get the DLC and I'm done. And we're good to go. So if you have not played Snipper Clips and you have a Switch, I don't give a damn how hardcore of a gamer you think you are. Get it. It's stupidly fun. Because you will laugh at yourself. The things you have to say to try and explain to somebody, you know, cut me here, do this. You just could be like, I sound wrong.
Yeah. I was actually watching somebody. They're like, this sounds dirty the whole time.
Yeah, it's great. It's unintentional, but you were just like, I shouldn't be saying this, but do it. Next up is a shooter that I saw something pop up a while back. I want to say this was supposed to come to the Wii U even. If I could be wrong, but I just think I remember that. One sec. Excuse me. It's called Morphy's Law. Great play on the name, by the way, from Murphy's Law to Morphy's Law. It's a local and online team-based shooter. It's kind of rough looking style-wise compared to some of the other games, but it's a cool idea. You change the size of your character, head, legs, chest, all that stuff, by shooting other players. Where you shoot them will make theirs shrink and you grow. And this affects gameplay. If you sit there and like say I'm fighting against you, Caleb, and I keep shooting you in the leg, my legs are going to grow. You're going to get tiny. You can't jump as high. You're going to have this like full upper body and tiny legs. And I'm going to have this like normal upper body, these giant legs that I can now jump higher to reach other areas. That goes for larger arms, which means a further grapple ability to climb. Or if you just go to all around smaller body, you can now run into little like mouse holes and small tunnels that bigger people can't access. And apparently you can shoot your teammates to customize each other while you're playing to spread the weight around and make smaller people or increase certain things. So this is another game that could really use voice chat, like even more than I think Splatoon. That's still going to be limited by that stupid Nintendo program. Hopefully it works better. Caleb, anything?
We'll see. I don't know. I saw it. I'm like, that's an interesting idea. Will I get it? I'll have to play it first, see if I like it. So
I don't know. It looks really funny.
No, it looks entertaining, but
we'll see. It comes out this holiday. I don't know. You know, it depends on how much it is. If it's, you know, $10-15, I might pick it up and try it out. 20 or higher, we'll have to see. $30, no. So we'll find out. We don't have a price or an exact date for it yet. So, but it's an interesting idea. It's coming to PC and stuff as well. So I'm okay with a little bit of creative weirdness. All right. Next up is a game we already knew about, but we're going to talk a little bit more about is Rocket League for Nintendo Switch. Now they wanted to come and reiterate that all modes are included from other versions. There are no differences between PS4, Xbox One, PC. The Switch version will be compatible with those. The differences, though, will be that Mario and Luigi toppers, which are the hats that you can put on your car, and particular cars are available to unlock. With, I think, the red team, you get Mario's car. The blue team, you get Luigi's car. And then there's a Samus gunship design that you can also get.
Which I want that. I'll probably, if... I don't know what the price is. Yeah, I don't know what the price is, but I'm like, you know, I haven't really ventured into Rocket League. It's never really appealed to me, but that Samus gunship car does look pretty attractive, you know.
Well, as soon as they announced it, and they were like, hey, we're going to have cross compatibility for gameplay online for Xbox One and PC along with the Switch, but Sony is not. I went out immediately and bought the Xbox One copy of the game, and then I sent a message to Sony going, hey, you see this? I bought this because you said you wouldn't have compatibility instead of buying your version. People thought that was funny. I was dead serious. I'm like, why would I buy it for PS4 now if I know I'm like, oh, I can play with PS4 players and nobody else, you know? So I don't know. I could see it probably being $40, maybe even a full price game. There's a lot of stuff to it, and I've really liked Rocket League. I'm going to get it just to nothing else to support the fact that they are pushing a lot of this and to have it as a portable game. It's also going to be the only time there's a local wireless multiplayer. So if other people get it, we can meet up somewhere and have Rocket League matches without even having to be online, which is great. That's a first for the entire series. That comes out this holiday. We have no set date yet. Oh, what game we got next on here, Caleb?
Arena of Valor. Oh boy. So it's a MOBA game exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, and they have 35 different heroes, you know, tanks, assassins, mages, supports, warriors, and marksmen, that kind of thing. You can have a 5v5, 3v3, 1v1. And then there's a new Hook Wars mode. I'm
not sure what that was.
I forgot what that was. Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't really explain. They just said we have a Hook War mode. Because this isn't an exclusive, by the way. This is one of the biggest MOBAs in China right now, and like in Asia.
Well, that's really weird.
So big that it even has Batman as a playable character. We don't know if we're getting that in America, but I swear to you, Batman is actually a playable character in this game. They make they make millions a day on this game, so it's actually pretty big that it's coming to the Switch. Kind of makes you wonder why League of Legends isn't coming to the Switch. I don't see a reason. I mean, I don't like playing MOBAs, but I understand League of Legends is a massive game. A lot of people like it. I don't see why the Switch wouldn't be able to run that. It's the same reason I don't see why don't we have Hearthstone. That thing is made for Hearthstone.
I would get that on a Switch in a heartbeat just because I play Hearthstone all the time.
Well, could you imagine just like chilling out at a Starbucks? You've got your Switch tablet. Don't even need the controllers and just using the touchscreen to play your game. Just chill out and play it online. Or 1v1, like you can meet up with somebody or other people. I don't know how. It's just one-on-one for Hearthstone, isn't it?
Yeah. Hearthstone is just a one-on-one.
So you can meet up with someone and, you know, have both your Switches and just play each other right there and have a local match.
Technically, you mean you could do fireside gatherings? Ooh, that'd be an easy way to do some fireside gatherings right there.
That's what I'm saying. Hearthstone makes sense. MOBAs make sense. I'm not a big fan of those types of games, but I recognize that they are necessary and they're a lot of people like them. They should be there.
If this does well, if Arena of Valor does well, which people who like MOBAs, you know, maybe they'll get it. It's coming this winter as a free beta.
Yep.
And
which that's cool. It is a free to play game. Yeah, so it'll
definitely be if it's good, if it's successful, it'll definitely be like a floodgate to kind of open maybe other MOBA.
I'm gonna try it. I'm not a big fan of MOBAs, but I'm going to give this one a try. It's a free download. I have no reason not to.
I get if... Hold on. This is a theory. If this does well, and then Blizzard's like, ooh, we can put Heroes of the Storm on there because there's not that much competition on the Switch yet. I doubt. I mean, this is... Ooh. And then Blizzard might also bring Hearthstone if that happens. So
if they do that and they don't bring Overwatch, I'm going to be pissed.
I don't think Overwatch will be on it, but it will definitely be interesting if it does happen.
Well, some of our announcements later pretty much give me pause to say they have no excuse not to put it on there now. All right, so next up fan favorite, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game keeps looking better and better. People were giving it crap going like, oh, it's just you're porting a 6-year-old game. It's not going to look that good. Even the guys over at Digital Foundry were like, the frame rate is lock solid. It plays beautifully. It looks beautiful. It's not going to have support for mods. We kind of figured that. I mean, we're talking about a limited, you know, storage capacity and stuff like that. But they did confirm that the Champion's Tunic, Hylian Shield, and the Master Sword can be unlocked in the game. You don't have to have the amiibos to do it.
Right.
People are all upset about that. But if you have the amiibos, you get them instantly. You just tap it. There they are. Done. You have to actually find them in the other one. This launch is now officially rock solid November 17th.
Cool.
So I will basically just stop existing to the world on November 17th. I'm trying to decide what kind of character I want to start with, because I used to play it on the console versions. I was just a brawler. I would just beat the crap out of everybody. And then on PC, I would always do just strictly magic. So I'm going to look and see, because this has all the DLC included already. Everything's available. So I might pick some obscure weird thing I've never played before. Just go with it. Why not?
I liked being a conjurer. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, they even used it in their advertisement when they were talking about this during the direct. They're like, hey, even if you've played it already, there's so many other options of completely new ways to play it. You can still play it like it's a brand new game. And that's a really good point. You know, it's only old if you want it to be old.
Yeah.
So, up next is another game that, just freaking Doom. We're getting Doom. Oh my God, we're getting Doom.
I was waiting for it, and I'm like, he's awfully calm about this.
What the crap, Bethesda?
Yeah, that is. I was like, oh, that's
first they showed the footage, and I'm like,
violent shooters coming to the Nintendo Switch. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just to give you a background, Doom for Xbox One, PC, PlayStation 4. It came out late last year, early this year. Actually, I think it was like 2015.
Yeah, 2015, I think.
Yeah, so it was last year or year before. Sorry,
something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's late, but the game is absolutely beautiful to play. It is incredibly violent. Which, I mean, it's Doom. You're going to be tearing off limbs and smashing people, and
especially people with the limbs.
Yeah, through their own heads, which, you know, ripping the horn off one thing and shoving it in its neck was great. But it's very uncompromising in that means. All of the weapons are beautifully balanced. It's fun to play. The map layouts are beautifully done. It takes the very old school setup where you don't have regenerating health. You still have to find health packs. You still have to find shield packs. It's very fast. 60 frames, runs so nice. And when I saw the footage for the Nintendo Switch presentation, for the first few seconds, I was like, oh, cool. They're showing, you know, they're showing like the Xbox One version or something. No, that was it running on the Switch.
Yep.
In comparisons, they are very close. There's some, obviously the resolution is going to be a little bit different. It's probably going to be, you know, maybe a little bit less than 1080 or, you know, maybe 900p. I could see 720, obviously, when it's running on the screen. But it had like a couple texture effects that weren't there, but all the models were there. The frame rate was there. It seemed like it was running par in for the rest of the 60.
Surprised to see that the demons kind of looked as they did in the, you know, the console and PC versions. Like, wow, that's really detailed. That's actually really cool.
Well, that cyber demon they showed you, it was just like, okay, I remember that fight. That's how it looked. That's great. And they're doing everything right by this. Bethesda's like, all right, cool. We are putting everything in on the Switch. We have built a brand new engine just for the Switch that can carry over our other games. Because just to go and throw it in there, we're also getting Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. So people are like, oh, Doom's old.
PC.
Wolfenstein 2 hasn't even come out yet. We're getting a brand new first-person shooter from a major third-party developer. I mean, Bethesda's on board. They're committed. And so help me, you Nintendo dorks, if you don't buy this, I'm gonna beat you all.
But I can't see Mario shooting demons. I don't want it. Yeah.
Don't buy it for your kids, but damn it, there's enough adults. Buy it for yourself. I mean, Insomniac was talking about this, and he got excited. He saw it. He was like, "Oh my god, I get to play Doom!" You know, because he doesn't have an Xbox One or a PS4. The Wii U was the last system he bought, other than the Switch. And he likes his Wii U, but the fact that he's getting Doom now on his Switch, he's excited. This is a brand new game for him. I played through it on Xbox One. I'm getting it again. I want this portable. It's just that good. So, you know, they made a custom engine so they could modify everything they need to put it in there. They said all the content's there. All of the story mode is there. The only thing we're missing is going to be the map creation mode, which I spent like 5 minutes playing around with it and then went, no, this is boring, and went and did something else. We have full story mode. We also have online multiplayer, but they're doing it in kind of a smart way. we're seeing a lot of issues with companies like EA where they're including these massive requirements for storage because they're using the smallest cartridges they can and making people download everything else. Doom's going, or id and Bethesda are going, okay, all of Doom's story mode, the entire story mode and single player campaign and everything is on the cartridge. No worries. You get it. You got it. You're good. Now, if you want online multiplayer, that is a required free download if you want to play multiplayer. I'm okay with that. I mean, multiplayer doesn't last forever. It wasn't even the biggest thing I played that much. If I don't want to play it, I don't have to waste system resources and download this game, this part of the game. I just play it with the cartridge and I'm good. Apparently, if you buy it digitally, you have to have all of it together. So it makes a much larger memory jump if you're buying it digital only. I do love the fact that people are campaigning id and Bethesda to release the cartridge in red. Super Nintendo Doom. I mean, come on, that would be cool. Because you guys remember the Doom cartridge itself from the Super Nintendo? Which I'm sending my son to grab my cartridge real quick. Doom on the Super Nintendo. Up. There you go. Hand me that. So we have Doom. It's one of my little custom cases here, but using the Super FX chip. That cartridge was red.
Oh, that's very red.
It was very red. Going, parents, the kids probably want this, but don't buy it. I would love to see that bright of a red on a Switch cartridge. I know it would be tiny, but it would
taste like cherry.
It'd be like a nasty cherry. It's just sour. I still haven't done that yet. I don't want to. I'm not.
Kyle made me do it, and I'm like, why? I feel like an idiot.
I will lick a Switch cartridge. I'll lick every one of my Switch cartridges if I can get someone to donate money to a charity. I'd do it.
You don't.
That's the only reason I would debase myself.
You don't know what you're asking.
It's for a good cause. And I own a lot of Switch cartridges, so this is like a horrible thing for me. So you better give some money to a good charity.
You're not going to be able to taste anything else for a long time.
Ah, God. I'll have hot sauce ready. I'll burn the ground.
It doesn't go away. I'm telling you, you don't know. It does
hey,
not.
For charity, I would do it. We just have to pick which charity and how much money. All right. So, I mean, seriously, Doom. Wow. That's a massive sign, though. And that's what I'm saying earlier when I said, well, Blizzard doesn't really have much of an excuse not to bring Overwatch. Because it is bringing Doom. It is bringing Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, which is coming. We're getting it a little bit later. I think it comes out in November here for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. We're going to get it early 2018 for the Switch, but I'll wait. I mean, I'm still playing through the last Wolfenstein as well as its expansion. So I've got plenty to play until that comes out. But I'm going to be playing Doom and Wolfenstein on a Nintendo console that can also be a portable. So I'll be able to carry Doom with me and Wolfenstein with me. I'll take that graphical hit. That's ridiculous. That's impressive. And that's also a clear sign to all these companies like Capcom and EA who are like, we're going to put out this little game, and depending on how well if you buy it, we'll decide on making these other ones. But we're going to skip all these other games between it. Capcom didn't give us the Disney cartoon collection. They didn't give us Mega Man Legacy 2. EA skipping out a bunch of titles. Bethesda literally went, okay, here's all of our new stuff. We're going all in. We trust this is going to be a successful system. We're putting the work and we expect the money back. Okay, no one has an excuse now.
Yeah, the portability is pretty big. It's a pretty big selling point.
People keep trying to argue with that. Oh, I don't see a use for it. Get out of your damn house.
It's portable.
You can. Yeah. When we're done with the podcast, you know what I'm going to do to go relax? I'm going to go up to my local Starbucks, chill out, grab something to drink, and I'll just put my Switch there and play. And there was another person that was there. She was having to wait for somebody. She brought an Xbox One, plugged it in, had a small LCD screen, plugged that in, and was sitting there in the corner of a Starbucks playing, waiting for this person. And I'm like, I just pull out my Switch, set it on the table, pull out the controllers, and start playing. And I'm just like looking at her going, uh-huh. That's all it takes.
Uh-huh.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yeah, the portability is pretty big. It's a pretty big selling point for a lot of people.
Hey, for charity, I would do it. We just have to pick which charity. Oh, wow. That's just ridiculous. Oh, I'm all excited. Doom and Wolfenstein. Yeah. It blew my mind. Brent, okay, and Brent, to your credit, you kept your mouth shut until I saw it. Good job. All right, so moving on to the next game, which was kind of a disappointment, but we'll have to talk about it anyways. Flip Wars. It's kind of a disappointing multiplayer game for the Switch where you can flip over tiles against other people. It's getting an update with new modes and a new stage called Red Coliseum. And they're finally adding local wireless multiplayer to it. So the game itself was kind of I'd probably say pass on it, but we'll see. Following this, though, was kind of a weird one for Nintendo. Caleb, what did Nintendo do now?
The Nintendo Arcade Classics, starting with Mario Brothers on September 27th, and they'll have some others coming along with it afterwards. And others will include Versus. It's like Versus kind of style.
Yeah, that's what the arcade games are called. They're called Versus Super Mario Brothers, Versus Balloon Fight, Versus Ice Climber, and Versus Pinball, and Versus Clu Clu Land, and more, including Punch Out. Hey, Jeremy, I'm sorry, but for a second, go and get my the case for Versus Mario. Bring that to me. I'll show you guys what the actual arcade marquee look like. It's in your room on the back wall. So these are the first times these games have been released, which would be great because we've never actually seen the arcade versions of these titles released to the public normally for a lot of this stuff. But it's kind of a weird starting point. Like, we're not going to get... This is what we're getting before Virtual Console? I mean... Is this the first step into it? Like, what's going on?
It's got to get his feet wet first. For some reason.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm going to get some of them. Like, I'll probably get Mario Brothers because it is, a lot of people can play it. They understand the game. And at any time, I can just set the Switch down, pop off the Joy-Cons, hand it over, and play 2-player with somebody with no extra hardware required. Versus Super Mario Brothers is a weird one. It's Super Mario Brothers. Jeremy, it's on the back. The big long box says Nintendo. I'll get it. It shows it's Super Mario Brothers, but it has a timer. And you would just keep adding quarters to keep playing. It was, I don't know. It's weird. I don't get that one. Balloon Fighter is kind of different. Now, they did release Versus Excite Bike on the Nintendo 3DS as a virtual console title. That was an enhanced version of Excite Bike that was originally just in the arcades that let you do a little bit more, which I have the arcade machine for that one, for Versus Super Mario Brothers, Versus Excite Bike, and Versus Golf. So, I don't know. That's interesting. They're going to let you be able to rotate the system to play it in long mode.
Oh.
So, like, Punch-Out was originally 2 screens, one on top of the other is how you played it. Where you had your stats and stuff on the top and then your actual gameplay at the bottom, and it would... That's where the whole thing of Little Mac being a green polygon see-through guy came from. Was from the arcade version of Punch-Out. All right. So give me just a second. I'm going to go grab that so I can show you guys what the Versus Super Mario Brothers stuff look like. I'll be right back. And Caleb, you can talk about something too.
Well, I don't know. Hey, how's it going? So, yeah. What's going on? Hope you're having a wonderful time, a wonderful day listening to us. Sitting here, talking about games. If you are a Monster Hunter fan and have not gotten Monster Hunter stories, and you like Pokemon, I would suggest picking it up because it is ridiculous and it's fun. And I'm having a really good time with it. Haven't gotten tired of watching the, what they call kinship attacks. And Jeremy's back, so I can stop talking. I was just talking about Monster Hunter stories.
Oh, yeah. How is that?
It's very fun. If you like Monster Hunter and you like Pokemon, well, putting them together just kind of, it's actually fun. For some reason, my camera's falling.
So here's the marquee for the Versus Excite Bike. So the Versus was actually part of the titles for their particular arcade machines where you could have 2 of them going against each other or different setups. Here's the Versus Golf. These are actual glass. And now the more impressive one I have is this sucker. which is the actual box it was shipped in from Kyoto, Japan to Redmond, Washington. And as you can see, this is the Versus Super Mario Brothers. There's no case that it came in. Pop that open. Move all these little chips. Yeah, this is Super Mario Brothers. All these chips. I'll have to see about doing ROM dumps on those now that I know how to. And here is the original marquee for Versus Super Mario Brothers, which the Versus is really tiny on the blocks up here.
Yeah, it is.
But, you know, it's Super Mario Brothers, and it shows how the controls are, how to play. In fact, this came out in 1986 in North America. I love the art of, you know, tiny Mario to giant Mario. We're just kind of bloop, pops up there. So yeah, this is where this Versus series is coming from when they talk about that. There was an actual arcade series for it. All right, so leaving that, we're going to go on to the next part. Legend of Zelda Series Champions Amiibos are dated. They are coming out November 10th, which means there's probably a good chance that the DLC will release around the same time, which they didn't talk much about the DLC, surprisingly.
No, they didn't. I was kind of hoping they would, but they did not. Which
they've talked about some before. I'm guessing it'll probably be like they'll do like a smaller direct closer to launch. I mean, because this is the story-based stuff. They don't want to leak too much of it, I think. But they did show what the Amiibos did. They actually unlocked special costumes based on each champion's divine beast, as well as, you know, the normal weapons and items you could get.
And they do something different. Each one does something.
Yeah, but they don't say what. So I'm kind of curious what it's going to be. Obviously, you can't control them and run them around the map. That would be kind of broken.
That would be amazing. I would totally get it. I would totally just give me all four of them. I don't care.
The little squid thing that kept shooting me. Just step on it.
Take this, Octorock. Bam.
You're annoying.
Hey, Lionel. Just
well, we know it's a 3-pack of Amiibos coming out later this year for those. So I've already got mine pre-ordered. We'll see how it goes. Go ahead and try and get them, people, because they were hard to find. It took me forever to find the Majora's Mask Amiibo. I finally got one. So I can try and unlock my Fierce Deity costume.
I want that costume, though.
Seriously, I'll let you borrow it.
Thank you.
Once I get mine unlocked, I'll let you borrow it so you can use it.
Yeah, you don't even. I can just go to your house.
Yeah,
It's
show up for
portable.
game night sometimes.
It's portable.
We have to do it like once a day for a while, so you may have it for a week or two. They did next up. Nintendo did a quick update on some games coming to the Switch. Of course, NBA 2K18 comes out September 15th for the eShop, October 17th for retail. So today, the physical copy of NBA 2K18 should have come out. WWE 2K18 is coming soon. FIFA 18 comes out September 29th. And Pokken Tournament DX comes out September 22nd. That is next week. And I'm going to have to hold off on mine for about 2 weeks.
Oh,
I spent a lot of money this week. But on a bonus for that one, you can use the controllers made for the Switch version of Pokken Tournament on the Wii U. So I actually went out of my way to find the Pikachu edition of that controller along with the original launch one. So I'll be able to use both of those. So, but these 3 sports games are actually much bigger news than people realize for the Switch. That's one of the things that Wii U did not get much beyond the beginning, or at all in some cases, was sports games, which a lot of people do play. You know, we take them for granted because we don't play sports games that much, but there's a lot of people excited to have NBA that they can then have portable, take with them. You know, you can have your league play and all that stuff on the console, but when you leave the house, you can't take it with you. Now you can just pick up your Switch and go to someone else's house, drop it in the dock, or bring the dock with you, plug it in their TV, or just break off a Joy-Con and hand it to them anywhere and play a basketball game. Same thing with FIFA. Soccer is one of the biggest selling games in sports in the world. You know, Yes, they call it football. We call it soccer, whatever. But it's a good sign for the Switch. It's kind of like a health meter. You know, hey, do we have good sports games? Is the system going to do well? Wii U didn't. It had problems. The Dreamcast didn't really have a lot of those sports games. It had its own that it tried to push that kind of helped it along, but it just kind of delayed the inevitable. So you can kind of see how that goes. The Wii had sports games for years. Even though it was a lesser version, the market was there, so they made the games. I'm hoping that's what the Switch is. It's a weaker system, but better potential. All right, Caleb, what's next?
Project Octopath Traveler. Something from Square Enix, and it's got HD 2D, which is a weird term.
That's what they call their art style. They always have to have some weird name for it.
It's just so weird.
It's a cool looking game, though.
It is. It looks very beautiful. And obviously, as the name implies, it's actually a temporary name. They don't have a real name yet. I believe the beta or something like that is out. Is it a beta or alpha?
There's a demo.
Okay.
The way the game is made is they call it Octopath Traveler because there's 8 main characters to choose from. And each of these 8 characters have a special character command called a path action, where like one of the characters is a sword fighter in the demo, and he has the ability to challenge anyone to a duel. Anyone. There's like a few people you can't, like the guy you have to save the game with because you don't want to kill that guy. You kind of need to be able to save the game.
Young child, I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah, he'll beat him. He won't kill him, but he'll beat the kid. You can do it. But you can use that, like if someone's blocking a door, you can challenge them to a duel to make them move or distract somebody or, do different things like that to affect it. But then the other character that's in the demo is a woman that can allure people, make them to fall in love with her and actually get them to follow her or do actions in battle to help her out. And each of these characters has a different take on what they can do with these things. So each character changes how the game plays. It's a really interesting setup. There's a new boost system for fighting, which every turn, if you don't use the boost, builds up to, I think, a max of 6 right now. And then you can use those all to either get multi-hit combos or way more powerful hits.
I think it's made by the same people who made Bravely Default. So I guess it is kind of like the Bravely Default system in a way, which I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, the only weird quirk I've seen so far are 2 things. One is your enemies don't have hit points. You can't see them. So I don't know how close I am to killing somebody or what I have to do. And 2 is if you die and have to go back, scenes, at least in the demo, are unskippable. So you have to sit there through very wordy and just keep tapping the button as they're going through all this text. But a lot of the game is voice acted, almost all of it. So it's not just you're seeing the text, but they're talking as well, which is really cool. So you have this game that's very old school style in the fact it has 2D elements, but very beautiful and new because it's real-time lighted 3D environments with all these special effects that you can, cast bloom and lighting and shadow on as your character moves around. But then it's also got very old school style text that pops up that's being spoken in full voice acting. So it's an interesting mix of old and new. But the demo is available now on the eShop for free. I highly recommend you try it out. This is one of the games that when the Switch was first shown off, it had a quick glimpse that everyone got surprised by the art style. And it's lived up to it as far as I know, or as far as I can tell. So, yeah. You going to try it, Caleb?
Eventually, I'll get around to it.
Download it now. All right. So, ARMS has gotten an update. And this is the update I've been waiting for. I actually stopped playing ARMS for a little while. I love the game. But I hated the fact that I had certain button combinations I had to use. It made it very confusing for me. But this one, they added a new fighter called Lollipop, which is a clown for all you It fans. There's also new arms and new stages available. This is version 3 for the updates, but this allows finally full button customization for controls. So you can set any button to any control that you want. So now you can set what your dodge is, what your grab is, how you move, how you change targets, all that stuff. The update's already gone live. So I'm going to give it a shot today. I've had it downloading earlier. And we'll see how the new ARMS goes. Did you ever pick it up, Caleb?
Nope.
I would have played you.
I don't know. it never really got I mean, I was like, that's pretty cool. I haven't really been able to try it or anything.
When you come over to to mooch off my amiibos, you can play ARMS here while you wait. All right. Next thing they talked about, which this one they announced in Japan, I'm glad to see it coming stateside, is Dragon Quest Builders. It's coming spring 2018, so we're obviously getting it a little bit later. But it's a story mode with an action RPG style combat, as well as a free build mode with unlimited resources are the two choices you have for play. Very much like a Minecraft with a Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, I've played it on the
PS4.
PlayStation, PS4. Yeah. It's all right. I'm gonna have to get back into it. I just kind of got like, you don't really get the weirdest thing to me was that you don't get to learn how to build roofs to you literally build these rooms. Like there's no roof on top. I'm like, what kind of game is this where you can't build roofs? I don't understand.
That's really weird. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you can find roofs and you can like tear them off in the early game, but I'm not sure where you learn how to build a roof.
Well, let's let's get your opinion on this. We'll add in here the Nintendo Switch is getting an exclusive Great Saber Cub, which will give you a speed boost. I guess you can ride and allow for unlock special items.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's very helpful, especially because your character kind of moves slowly. So.
Okay. Well, we'll take into account with that information as well as you playing the PS4 one. Would you say this game is worth picking up, adding in the fact, obviously you're going to have a portable version of it and stuff like that as well? Be honest.
Combat is okay. It's there. It's serviceable. The building component, while it can be fun, can also be a tiny bit tedious. It is very smooth, I will say, like placing different blocks and stuff like that. It's a very smooth process for the most part. Again, you can't really learn how to build roofs, so you can build a hospital with no roof. That doesn't make any sense. Why?
Yeah, that's odd.
And that, it's pretty interesting. You can build traps and everything, and
maybe it's a throwback to the old NES Dragon Warriors where the buildings had no roof because you could see inside.
maybe, but I mean, there are roofs in the game. I don't know how to get them. I only went to like the second part because what it is like you kind of have like different chapters, and each chapter takes place in a different area. It's all right. If you like building stuff, then and you're not like a big stickler for combat, I would say go ahead and get it. The camera's also messing up again.
Yeah, I noticed it was going up. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I've been playing Lego Worlds. I picked that up the other day, and it's slow to start. It's getting better, but it's definitely a weird one. But I haven't played it on the TV yet. I've noticed a few of these games like Octopath Traveler and Lego Worlds. I got them, and I haven't yet to actually plug my Switch back into the TV. So I'm like, these games are great. How's it look on the TV? I don't know. I just know I can carry it. But so we'll see. All right. Next up is Kirby Star Allies, launching spring 2018. It's a 4-player co-op with items and power combinations. So we're getting kind of the best of Kirby 64.
Yay!
What was the Kirby on the
Crystal Shards?
No, the one on the Wii.
That was
did the multiplayer. I'm trying to look, but there's a reflection. Dang it. No, it's one of those Kirby games. I'm going to remember later. It's going to drive me mad. But where you can have 4 players working together and doing stuff, it reminds me of that. This one, Kirby has up to 3 extra hearts during single player that you can throw at enemies and make them into versions that would help you. And switch between and work around. And then the combinations of powers are going to be weird. I can't wait to
can't wait.
Stupid.
I can't wait. That's going to be the best part. I can't wait for it.
Well, spring 2018, you got to wait a little bit. Next up, Nintendo did a quick eShop download section, which this showed a few games that I had no idea about and a few that I really want to get. Starting off with SteamWorld Dig 2 coming September 21st. SteamWorld Dig 1 and Heist were both fantastic games. I played them on 3DS. I played them on the Wii U.
I'm playing.
PC. I mean, I loved them. They're great Metroidvania style games that I highly recommend.
For my birthday, Kyle gave me. It's his little late present. He gave me the SteamWorld collection on the Wii U, so I have to play
Nice.
through that. I started playing Heist. I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. Then I got to a tough part. And I'm like, I'm gonna take a break.
Was that a physical release or a digital code?
No, it's physical.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta
the
find
collection.
that.
Yeah, SteamWorld collection.
On Wii U.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get this. I'm on a mission to try and get every physical Wii U release. I've found some obscure ones. Next up is Golf Story, which is kind of a old school 8 or 16-bit style golf RPG. I can't really laugh at that because I remember playing Mario Golf on the Game Boy Advance, which was kind of an RPG as well, and I really liked it. So I might actually give this one a go.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Next up is Nine Parchments, coming holiday 2017, which looked kind of, if this is what I remember correctly, looked kind of like a Gauntlet style.
I don't remember. Let's see.
Look neat. I'm looking at this is the one that's kind of a Gauntlet style, where I think up to 4 people can play together as they fight their way through the worlds. So anything Gauntlet
that's the
style
one
for
with like the
multiplayer.
different... No,
a different one.
wait.
But it's very Gauntlet style. This is one I definitely want to get because we have a lot of game nights every Saturday. We have people come over and play games.
Is that where you can like manipulate spells or whatever?
I think so.
Cool.
It just looks like it's fun in a group, which is what I'm always down for.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
one you can customize the spells and everything. That's right.
Yeah. It's another game that works really well for people just using the Joy-Cons. I have 6 Joy-Cons now, so I get one more set of Joy-Cons and I can have a full 8-player game. I think is the most they offer right now on just one setup, which would be cool. Battle Chef Brigade coming holiday 2017. This is one of the Adult Swim games. It's kind of like a hack and slash and a cooking game.
Hack and slash RPG cooking game, fantasy setting style, 2D platformer.
It's you know what?
Match
Whatever.
three. It's a match 3. It's a match 3.
Oh,
so
it's a match 3 in there too.
It's a match 3 as well.
Why?
Because it needs every genre in one game.
God, it's probably not a first-person shooter at some point.
It's somewhere
Maybe
there. I
that's
bet
the
you there
menu.
is. I bet you there is.
Yeah. Next up is a game called Tiny Metal. No date was given, and it just kind of popped up all of a sudden. It's like almost like an Advance War style art tactical game.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So it's got my attention. I mean, as soon as I looked at it, imagine taking Advance Wars from the Game Boy Advance, keeping the overhead 2D perspective, but making the items 3D with a slightly askew camera.
And the camera will actually zoom in on your units and stuff like that when they do something.
Right. It still does. The camera zooms just like Advance Wars, except now it's all 3D models and 3D environments. It looks really pretty. It's another one of those games that takes a three-dimensional perspective of a 2D art style with really good lighting. I always love that art style. It just works so well for a lot of games. Of course, I'm looking at this, and there's a picture that popped up from something Metal Slug, and I'm like, ooh, I'd love to get a Metal Slug like that, where it's still 2D, but like 3D. Anyways. Lastly was Super Meat Boy Forever, which comes out 2018. Just to give you a heads up, this is not like a normal Super Meat Boy. This is the true sequel to Super Meat Boy, but it's kind of a endless runner, where you have like a punch and a kick and a slide command, as well as your run to try and get through the levels. Probably just as difficult, but I don't think you're able to actually stop yourself and try and set up your jumps. You got to do it all live. Ugh, it'll be a tough one. After that, Square Enix came out and announced, or they talked about Lost Sphere.
I think they said it was a sequel to I Am Setsuna or something like that. They said it's like a sequel or it's like a spiritual successor or something like that.
Maybe the same style. That's launching January 23rd, 2018. Very specific but odd date. But they're saying it's a modern take on classic RPGs. So if you're a big fan of the old 16-bit RPGs and that style, this one's a new art style. It's all 3D, but has a lot of those play mechanics from the old games. Caleb, what's next?
Sonic Forces, a game I'm actually looking forward to, and I'm actually contemplating on what system I should actually get this on. Because there's like, if I had it on Switch, it's portable. If I had it on PC, it looks cool. If I had it on PS4, I could, it's a console. I'm torn. I'm torn. I don't know which one I should get.
If I'm going to get it, I'm getting it on Switch because the actual graphical look between it and the PS4 version was not that great. And it's portable.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I actually heard from a couple people that they're actually really surprised at how good it is, because Sega went back and looked at Colors and Unleashed, I think it was. Anyways, and they took like kind of the best parts of both of them and kind of put them together in this one game. So I'm looking forward to it. It's pretty cool. The villain, the main villain in here, super edgy, but have you heard his theme at all, Jeremy?
No.
If you like the 90s rock kind of style, that's kind of what they're going for. I'm like, it's just so good. It's so edgy, but it's so good.
Yeah. Caleb.
It's got a little bit of rap in it, but it doesn't stay too long. Then it gets into like the
Right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, they let you. Oh, go ahead.
I heard a lot. I heard from a couple of people like, "Wow, I don't even like Sonic games, and it was surprisingly good." I'm like, that's a good sign.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. They're gonna let you play as classic Sonic, modern Sonic, or a character of your own creation.
Your OC.
Yep. This kind of seems very much like it's a successor or sequel to Sonic Generations in that setup.
I think so, which, is kind of weird. I was like, wow, they brought classic Sonic back. But I guess it makes sense because they're also bringing back a lot of the old villains as well.
Yeah, it does look like they're bringing a lot of that kind of all that content back. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at it, but even if it's bad, we got Sonic Mania, so they've got room to mess up. I'll be like, oh, this is horrible. Going back to Sonic Mania. I'm happy again because that game was great.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I like the modern Sonic stuff.
I don't know if you can see it in the background, but you can see old Sonic sitting there. That's the Genesis statue that came with the collector's edition. I actually bought a collector's edition of a digital game.
Good job.
Whatever. All right. Next up is Resident Evil Revelations. This is from Capcom, coming November 28th. I have mixed feelings on this one. I love Resident Evil Revelations. I have it on the 3DS, played it, loved it. Got it on the Wii U, played it again, loved it again. I'll probably end up getting it on the Switch, which is great. Now, that'll be on the cartridge. Resident Evil Revelations 2, though, is not. Even if you get a physical copy, you have to download Resident Evil Revelations 2. There's no physical release for it because they opted for a smaller cartridge. So that kind of sucks. That means one day that Revelations 2 will not be available for the Switch. Revelations 1 will be. But then I could also play it on the Wii U. I could play it on the 3DS. I don't know. I'm hoping they release it at a cheaper price. I don't think I really want to pay more than $30, but we'll see. I don't know. It was a great game. I'm hoping the co-op is still there. So
I'm sure it will be.
I hope so. Next up is another port that seems a little bit more promising with what they're adding. And this is Rockstar throwing their hat into the ring for the Switch with L.A. Noire.
Which is weird. I mean, I was like, wow, that's an interesting choice.
Well, it makes sense, though, and this is why. It's being re-released as an HD or an enhanced version for the Xbox One and PS4 as well. So it's a good sign that a major third-party developer is including the Switch as one of the SKUs that they're going to support. Which is great. It's launching November 14th. It's got all the DLC for the original game, new collectibles, new detective suits, which have special abilities. There's a Joy-Con mode, so you can play it with just the Joy-Cons. There's going to be a new wide and over-the-shoulder camera angle for playing on the go, which makes it a lot easier to manage. So I guess the camera was too close last time, or too far, how it was set up. And there's also new touchscreen controls available, as well as some motion controls, depending on how you want to play or how you are playing it. So it's nice that they're supporting the system, but also adding custom features to make it that much better on it, instead of being just a dirty, quick port,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Eleanor was fun. It's no GTA, but hey, if this sells well, we could get Grand Theft Auto 5 or something on the Switch. Could you
Oh
imagine that
boy, another version of GTA 5.
I would play it. I mean, that would be portable. It'd be great. We haven't gotten an actual direct Rockstar game since Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on the DS.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, for the Nintendo Direct, they went into a lot of details onto Super Mario Odyssey, launching October 29th. It's trippy to think we have a month and a half. We have a brand new full 3D Mario game in our hands. Literally.
Literally, yes. They definitely showed off a lot of different worlds. We'll say they're called kingdoms, but
yeah.
Well, for this sake, we'll call them worlds. And
they're levels inside of kingdoms, and apparently they're connected in different ways. The world map that they showed us, along with the level titles, we have New Donk City, which we're aware of. That's in the Metro Kingdom. Tust Arena, which is the Sand Kingdom, which is the Mexican-looking area of the Day of the Dead that we saw. Mount Volbono in the Luncheon Kingdom. That's the one with the really trippy art style.
Yeah, I don't really know what that one's about. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. I'm just like, this looks so out of place, kind of.
Well, all the worlds do. None of them match. That's what's great. Steam Gardens, which we saw in the Wooden Kingdom. Bonetta, which is the Cap Kingdom. And Fossil Falls, which is in the Cascade Kingdom. All of these maps and worlds we saw in the trailers and playthrough and all that stuff before. But then they were like, yeah, cool. Here's 3 more you didn't know about. We're going to have Shiveria. Gotta love the name of Shiver in the Snow Kingdom. You're going to have Bubble Lane in the Seaside Kingdom, which had Mario running around in just his shorts. We saw nipples, people.
It was the highlights of the internet, I will say.
Everyone's like, Mario's got toes? Mario's got nipples. I'm like, well, yeah, he's a person. And then lastly, they didn't name it. And here's the kicker. All of these worlds were mentioned. This is more full worlds than I think almost any of the previous Mario games have had. And they're like, there's many more they haven't announced. And they showed off a little bit of one they just called a tropical island that had the most adorable winged lizard you could play as and glide. I want that lizard as a little amiibo. Just so this game is going to be massive. I mean, just good Lord.
It'll definitely be fun. I love the 3D Mario stuff. And I was actually wondering why we haven't gotten a new one since, well, then again, you know, the Wii U kind of had Mario Galaxy. So
we had 3D World.
No, you're right. The Wii U.
The Wii had Mario Galaxy.
Completely.
Had New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, New Luigi Wii U, which, you know, I've got a history with, as well as Super Mario 3D World, which I did like. That game was massive, but it was, people didn't like it because it was different, which I enjoyed the hell out of. It was a really good Mario. It worked best, I think, in single or 2-player mode. Some levels worked really well with 4, but a lot of them were just too hectic. But with 2 people, there was a whole new experience to play it. And I had a friend came over, me and her played the entire game, every world, every star, every bonus, 2-player. And oh my God, that was difficult. We had to both get good because one of us slacked, we died. This game, though, is going to have a lot of content. They talked about how the power modes are tracked in the game and showing like one of the worlds had 69 moons available. Just one of the worlds, not counting the rest of them. And apparently there is some kind of special thing that happens when you get all of them. Well, and a lot of people are wondering if the moon is its own world because they show it heavily in the map. You got the globe, but there's the moon sitting right there. And I'm like, if you don't go to that moon and it's that prominent, that detailed, what the crap? I mean, but I have a feeling that's what it is. You get all the power moons. I bet you go to the moon. I'm saying it now. Do you imagine a Mario that's all light gravity? Yeah, that's my theory. I'm gonna stick with it. What'd you think of the Talkatus? The birds.
Oh, that was that's kind of cool. that's kind of cool, you know, having a hint of, because, you know, some of them, like they showed that one where you had to ground pound a certain location. Like,
Yeah.
who's ever supposed to find that? How are you ever supposed to find something like that? So that's good that they're in there. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to ask the birds for help, but
Yeah, there's actually 3 ways to get help, which is kind of interesting. You have the Talkatoo birds for hints. You can give coins to the hint toads that are running around, or by using Amiibo with what they literally called a character called Uncle Amiibo,
it's not
which is
subtle at all.
it's a
It's not at
squat
all
little
subtle.
robot. Yeah, I don't know.
It could have been Uncle Me, whatever, something like that. Anyways,
Uncle
that would have been more
Amiibo.
subtle.
It's Unc
There you go,
Uncle
Uncle Me.
Unc Amiibo. Oh Lord. Mini games are hidden around the game. Like they were showed a couple of them, like Cooper Racing and Jump Rope. Which Jump Rope we knew about. The Cooper Racing was kind of cool to see that return from like Mario 64. Your scores are uploaded online so you can compete with your friends on these mini games. And did you notice when they showed them, each one of the titles was a reference to Mr. Game & Watch?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Go back and look at the little bars they used, and all the icons showing the races are all Mr. Game & Watch in different poses, like holding stuff. And I'm like, ha ha! I see what you did there with my favorite Smash Brothers character. He's who I main, I guess you could say in those kids' terms today.
What do you young kids call it?
I main this. All right. Crazy Cap lets you customize Mario as well as buy stickers and souvenirs for your ship. We're aware of this from previous directs at E3, but it's nice to see more of the costumes, and a lot of them are directly based on Mario references, and some of them are original. But like they showed one that was kind of obscure where he's sitting in New Donk City in an artist outfit. And we're like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but it's from a Japanese Nintendo 64 disc drive cover called Art Studio.
Right.
Or Artist Studio is where that came from. Though they did have some really cool graffiti behind him based off of the original Donkey Kong arcade art. So nice little extra there. There's a snapshot mode. So at any time you can freeze time and take pictures, give them different filters, rotate it so it can be vertical for like cell phones, Snapchat, stuff like that. You can make it horizontal for computer wallpapers. It looked kind of neat. And as a photographer, I've had fun messing around with these different camera modes in different games like Forza and Uncharted, just to see what my real world experience with photography and videography can do in a digital landscape. Caleb, you ever messed with that one?
I messed around a lot with when Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I messed around with the camera a whole lot. One. So
nice.
I literally filled up my memory with all the pictures I took.
I did that on the Wii. I had like a 1 gig memory card, and it's like, you're done. I'm like, oh crap. So I don't know. It's kind of cool that they do that. I could see a lot of fun little things coming out for it. I'm sure there's gonna be weird memes. There's gonna be a lot of custom wallpapers, things like that. So, but I wonder how this will compare. I guess it's got more advanced, but like what the difference will be if there's a different resolution than using the snap button on the capture button on the front of the Switch. I mean, that's built into every controller. I can just hit a button and get that moment. But this one lets you move the camera and do stuff. So I guess that could be more involved. They didn't talk about it, but they just popped up all of a sudden. Mario jumped into a portrait to go into a world inside another world.
Yeah, I wonder if those would be like mini worlds, kind of like in Super Mario Sunshine.
Would it be great if they actually hid some of the actual Mario 64 worlds redone?
I bet you I would not doubt it. With what I've seen of the game, I would not at all.
It wouldn't be the first time they did it. I think it was Mario 3D World. One of the other ones had a Mario 64 world hidden in it that you could actually jump into and run around in the new game, and it was really cool. So I would love to see some of those classic worlds, because it looked like they were in the desert. So maybe they're visiting. Remember that Mario 64 had that world with the big pyramid and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that being redone in this new engine with all these new abilities and just running around? That'd be great.
Getting over the big giant blocks that are rolling around on that one thing. It'd be easier to get get through that.
Well, that had the big hands with the eyeballs in them in the middle too. I remember, so the boss is in there. Next up, they brought up the Wedding Amiibo set coming October 29th, along with the game. You can get them as individuals or as a 3-pack, which I think I ended up getting the 3-pack. I pre-ordered it, told them to pre-order all the Amiibos, and they pre-ordered the 3-pack and the individual ones. So I had to go back and cancel the individual ones. But those, they haven't really said too much of what they're going to do. But they did make a statement I thought was interesting, is all Amiibo are compatible with Mario Odyssey in some way. Every one of them. Which is going to take a while because that's all Amiibos. I have pretty much every single Amiibo they've made except for, I think, the Dark Edition of Donkey Kong from Skylanders. And some of the Japanese ones like the Monster Hunter Stories and Box Boy, which I'm working on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if normal Amiibo works with Monster Hunter Stories, but I won't be able to find out till I get my new 3DS tomorrow.
I don't know about normal Amiibos, but the Japanese ones, if you import them, are 100% compatible as they were originally.
Cool.
So they just didn't bring them to North America for some reason, but they were.
This is Monster Hunter, so Capcom's lazy. That's why.
Yeah. All right, and the last thing they covered is Super Mario Odyssey will be launching with a bundle with a darker red Mario colors style Joy-Cons, as well as Super Mario Odyssey carrying case with the game digitally included in the system. So, I don't know. There was a lot they covered on this direct. It was 45 minutes long, and they took every second to go off. I think the only time they got really slow was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They kind of
that one was about like 8 minutes. I'm like, wow, that's a lot.
Because the guy is talking really slow.
Yeah, the grandpa. I was like, I can barely understand him. He's talking so slow. And I'm old, and I'm a titan. And here's Rex. He likes this girl. He wants to make her his blade waifu. Here I will join the journey as well. And I'm going to continue to talk slowly throughout the entire.
Nope, we're done. Goodbye. Mute him. So I think, is anything else you wanted to add for the show today, Caleb? Or
I'm ready for Pokken tournament this week. Hopefully our area will at least have it. And I'm ready to play Metroid. That's about it. I don't know. I'm ready. Some of these
I'm
good.
So good.
It's so great for you. I'm so happy.
Metroid is awesome. I don't know how that comes out on that when I'm talking, but it's just kind of really close, just telling you how great Metroid is. All right.
We're going to talk about Metroid with ASMR podcast. Today we're going to... But yeah, no.
That's that would be the MSR, Metroid Samus Returns podcast. I'm sorry you didn't get yours, Caleb. I tried to find you one.
That's fine.
I would have picked it up if I'd found it.
I know.
Okay. Poor Kyle is waiting on his too, because I've got it paid for already. Like I went ahead and just paid it off. So I have to go pick it up when it comes in and then take it to him. And then I got to get, because I'm getting some of the classic Nintendo VHS tapes they sent out. Like I think one of them's like Donkey Kong Country Returns and a few of those. And I'm like, these are just, I have to get these. And he was just like, hey, put down $5 on my pre-order because I don't want to go do it. And I'll give you these tapes. I was like, done. Here you go. $5 down. It's yours. Just pay me back the rest of it. And the game is yours. And give me those VHS tapes. I'm going to try and digitize them, which should be hilarious, and put those on our page. I've been finding these old VHS tapes and trying to do that. I even have one for like the Game Shark.
Nice. That'll be interesting.
So bad. Oh, that's great. All right. Well, Caleb, where can we find you on this great internet that we all live on with our brains?
Find me on the interwebs on YouTube. You can look up Strangely Entertaining. Haven't really been uploading content as of recently, but I'm working on something. I know I've been very bad. Took a break because of school. I'm just kind of like, a couple more months, a couple more weeks won't hurt if I don't upload anything. Well,
he does good streams though, people, especially Metroid Prime. That's a good one to watch.
If Metroid Prime 4 comes out, I'll probably stream it.
Probably. What was wrong?
Probably, maybe. We'll see. Yep. So you can look up Strangely Entertaining. It's a little bit hard to find me, but you can just look up Nerd Edification Hour. That's our old podcast. If you happen to go stumbling across that.
What is the situation with that, or is that something we should talk about off air?
I mean, it's not really.
We can talk about it after the show before we get off.
It'll be fine. And you can find me on Twitter at Nerd Edification. I'm gonna have to change that. I'll probably go through and change my Twitter account.
That says a lot, people. That says a lot.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. So,
all right. I've been your host, Jeremy Powers. Obviously, you can find me on Twitter at Zenspath, Zenspath. Somehow, if you're not already watching this on our YouTube page, it's youtube.com/Zenspath.com. I am on Twitter constantly. So if you're sending me any messages on there, I will respond. I'll probably talk with you, send pictures, all kinds of weird stuff. We're working on getting a Discord channel going, which we have where we can chat on it now, but we can actually open it up to be able to chat specifically with some of our fans. If you want a direct link to talk with Caleb, Insomniac, myself, we might have special times or ways we can do that. I'm looking into using Discord as a voice-only version of the podcast on occasion. I'm going to try and strip the audio for this one again and start getting us back on iTunes more as we were before. But this video format seems to work really well, I think, for us. I mean, we've been doing it, so that's an improvement. Hasn't helped with our counting since, we did episode 9, then episode 9, episode 11. I can't count. All right. Well, Caleb, I do appreciate it. I've been your host, Jeremy Powers. This has been Caleb. And this is the end of episode 11 of Notification Podcast. Zenspath. Damn it. Of the Zenspath podcast. You got me thinking of the old ones, Caleb. I remember having to do the radio introductions for that. All right. Anyways. All right. Peace.
Bye.